So it's pretty much confirmed that Insomniac is working on an even bigger update for Spider-Man 2, including ways to change our symbiote ability colors in the endgame, ways to change the time of day and weather, and of course the all-awaited new Game Plus mode we should see really soon. But on top of that, we also had an update yesterday that introduces a number of secret changes, so we're gonna talk about that and more in this video. But starting right up, yesterday's update was kinda on the small side. It only had one substantial change, which was the fact that the Amazing 2 suit for Peter, its logo appeared too bright, so that was addressed and now it should look a lot crisper. I think that this is a better interpretation of that suit. It just makes those webbings pop up more than before, plus the coloring seems to match it a little bit better. Now, you're not going to see any significant changes besides these, but that suit always looked good, and now it's going to look like 10 times better because of these changes. They've made a similar one to the Raimi suit before launch, basically with the day 1 update, when they similarly kind of changed a bit that webbing that appears on the suit itself. Also, really unfortunate that Spider Cube didn't stick, but yeah, that's been fully fixed, and the previous exploit that let you easily trigger it by just changing those suits rapidly in photo mode has now been addressed, and now it no longer triggers it. However, there's still a chance for it to happen in long play session, as has been reported by certain users on Reddit. So yeah, you might still encounter this for both Peter and Miles. Plus, they also addressed that issue with the incorrect country flag being displayed inside Miles' home with the correct Puerto Rican one instead, which I guess is pretty ironic to happen given the fact that they spent literally a whole game before dedicated to Miles Morales' own background and culture, but yeah, I guess that's just corporations for you. Also, I'm not sure if this is an undocumented change or not, but it seems that Miles, or whenever you meet one of the other Spideys, now will properly finish off some of the adjacent objectives. Like, for example, previously when meeting Miles in some of these tanker missions, they would just bug out and not extinguish the fires. However, now it seems that it's fully functional and they will actively try to solve that too. So they will actually help you with more than just fighting, but also completing some of the other objectives for those specific missions. And finally, they improved some of that game stability, so you should see the game behaving a lot better than before. But moving on, there's been considerable fan feedback to changes and features that fans want to see in Spider-Man 2, and a lot of it seems to have been taken into account by Insomniac, and quite a bit has already been featured on their FAQ page. So nothing has been 100% confirmed yet, neither if it's going to make it in the game or the timeline on it. However, there's a big chance for these to be implemented at some point. So one of them is the possibility to change the weather and the time of day in the post-main story campaign, something that I 100% subscribe to. In fact, some of those rainy nights were some of my favorite moments throughout the entire story when they happened, and it definitely made the game a lot more cinematic. On top of that, I also liked many of the sunsets. Yeah, it just made the whole scenery a lot better, so I do want to see these making a return. And honestly, they should have been there since day one. I mean, the 2018 installment already came out with the possibility to change the weather, well, not really weather, but the time of day from those terminals you would find at the top of buildings. Another one would be the possibility to change symbiote ability colors also in the post-game. Now, without spoiling anything, there are mainly 2 colors that exist, and honestly, you're kind of just stuck with just one of them, but it looks out of place if you pick certain costumes. So it would be nice to just revert back to some of the initial moments in the main story to better make those fit with the suits that you normally want to use in the endgame. Now, there's more than that, of course. New Game Plus is probably the most requested feature of them all. If you're like me, you already finished the main story and probably on your way to maybe finishing it again on the ultimate difficulty or some higher difficulty than the initial one you did. So New Game Plus is something that I'm highly anticipating. This should come with a couple more changes if the previous games are anything to go by, so maybe a couple more extra, for example, achievements in there would be nice. Maybe an even higher difficulty than the ultimate. Let me know down below if you want to see something higher than that, though at this point enemies will just get way too bullet spongy and maybe just ruin some of the fun, but I would love to know your opinion down below. Instant one-shots would not be bad, maybe Ghost of Tsushima style. I'm not sure if Miles Morales ever did that, but I would love to see a Ghost of Tsushima style one-shot kind of difficulty for both Peter or the Spideys and enemies. At least in terms of New Game Plus mode, Insomniac Games indirectly confirmed that this is in the works. It's just that they don't have an official date just yet, but yeah, they should follow this up soon with some social media posts. But besides these requests, there's one more thing that I would love to see being added back in the game, because we already had this both in 2018 and in Miles Morales, and it's shocking how many suits are missing from those two previous games, including the remastered version, which also added a few more on top. So somebody did some calculations, and a total of 36 suits in total are missing from Spider-Man 2 if they were just simply added from the previous two games. So stuff like, for example, the spider armor from MK1 to MK4, which were some of my favorites, especially on the MK4, are completely missing. The Future Foundation, which again was one of my favorite, is completely missing. There was also that spider cyborg kind of suit in 2018, also completely gone. Even the pre-order and deluxe edition variants from the previous games didn't make it into this one, like for example the Velocity suit, which was a great early on option for the 2018 game. Plus many more that we saw in some of the DLCs, like the Spider Clan, the vintage comic book suit, and quite a few more for both 2018 and Miles Morales. And who can forget about the Spirit Spider, one of the more unique suits and styles with the burning skull. I kind of wish that we had this in 2023 with the improved graphics. It would definitely look really amazing. Plus, I would love to see some suit styles for it with different colors. And what's even more ironic is that finding these Spiderbots around the city, actually a lot of them featured those very missing suits from the previous games. So yeah, Insomniac definitely has to bring them back, but not like the rewards for DLCs, actually just back as the default versions and then add new ones on top on the DLCs if this is going to happen at any point. Again, let me know down below in the comments which one of your suits from the previous games do you really want to see added in 2023. Besides these, there are just a couple more that I would love to see in the game. One of them is from Miles Morales, which is the ability to replay the main story missions. This was already previously possible in Miles Morales. After finishing the main campaign, you could just go to the mission list and then choose the button to replay specific missions and chapters, which unfortunately right now is not possible, and you would need to make specific save files for that, which yeah, kind of get overwritten if you progress too much or just play for too long. Eventually the backups just get overwritten with something else. And am I the only one who noticed that there's significantly less Jonah Jameson interactions in this game? Like literally only like a few dialogues here and there compared to the previous games. I remember back in 2018 and Miles Morales, there were way more broadcasts from him just like going ham at it against the two Spideys. So at the very least, a way to replay those very dialogues from the game menu and kind of have it like all the collections we already have, but in more of like an audio log format. Again, let me know down below what's your opinion on that. But I also went ahead and tested some of the exploits that we talked about in previous videos, and surprisingly they are still actually active in update 1.31. So you can still go ahead, clip through the map and even go into restricted areas, maybe explore some of the possible future DLC locations. So this includes both this location right here in the financial district, in which you can still fall under the map and essentially go to that secret Rhino level in which you can find the fate of Rhino. Again, you can go ahead and check out that video again as I posted this yesterday. Or you can even use the train still to just bypass the invisible wall on the other side of the north side bridge and essentially reach all of these restricted locations, including what we explored before, possible future DLC locations, as it seems that the attention to detail like perch points and NPCs plus traffic spawns over there are very much implemented. Anyway, that is pretty much it with the video. Totally check out some of the other Spider-Man 2 content I covered on the channel, including some amazing secrets to find, as well as ways to just exploit and break through the map and discover secret areas all around New York. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.